Good evening, beloveds. It is I, Ade Tutu, coming to you on a very warm and gentle Sunday evening. I can see the sun setting from my window. It's all orange in the sky. Your birds chirping. It is just a magnificent piece here. Um, so, welcome back to my channel. And I'm so very elated to share my space and my goodness with all of you. So thank you for coming back to my channel. My channel. It's so liberating to say. I'm so very thankful for the likes. I would encourage you, in the spirit of reciprocity, to continue to comment and like and subscribe so we can keep this love mobile going, right? So, thank you all on this wonderful Sunday evening. I want to introduce Appetit. It is a very lovely blue stone, and as the name sounds, um, it is said to be a appetite suppressant. I don't know how true, but I do like its growth aspects and its incredible ability to sync and attune spiritual um, intuition. So it helps you to go beyond those barriers, I guess, so that you can hear, your ori, your spiritual intelligence speaking uh, to you. So it also activates the throat chakra, which is the center of your truth. And in truth, there is freedom, and in freedom, there is insurmountable bliss. So I'm thankful for my buddies. Appetit. I appreciate you on this Sunday evening. And I want to do a lovely shout out to Anonymous. Thank you for your thoughts and perspectives. Perspectives, yeah. Um, as you gave a lot of feedback, and I really, truly appreciate that. I only had one bone to pick with you in regards to the masculine being more expendable. Uh, it sounds harsh, just a little bit, um, and I would definitely frame that as maybe expendable. I don't know how I could reframe that. I mean, that's being expendable means you're a little bit less, important to the scheme of things. And I would like to say, in the spirit of balance of feminine and masculine energy, that no one, the spirit of um, expendability would be so far away from that balance, right? Because it is perfect. It is everything you need from the feminine aspect, everything you need from the masculine aspect. Yin and yang, perfect balance. So I would say definitely not expendable, uh, even in a sociological way, because in reference to reproduction, there has to be the presence of both. So, um, there wouldn't be any reproduction. So, I shout out to um, Anonymous for us, being able to hang our hat here and talk about expendability as we are all purposed beings, even a small ant purposeful in its existence. So, and also, um, just having an understanding that culturally those roles look different, and a stereotypical uh, way of male handling a situation versus female handling a situation um, is definitely not, to me it has nothing to do with gender, because as I said in my video, that same bully, you know in my mind, I would be the male aspect of that situation. Hey, you got to learn how to protect yourself, because I'm not always going to be around. But I might also follow up and say, hey, I need to talk to the principal right away, because what's going to happen is my child is not going to be bullied. And if you can't handle it, I'm going to handle it. So, it's stereotypical in a way of the Western world, I guess you could say. But in my neighborhood and my teachings and rearing, definitely there was probably a more masculine approach to a bully than there was a female approach, as described in the comments. So, but thank you. Thank you for the expansion, the conversation, the thinking that happened when I read all of that. I was very pleased, because in this pandemic, you need something else to concentrate on, to get those creative juices to flowing, to get that connection with your inner GPS, that voice that has it all lined out for you, that does not stop at pitfalls. It just keeps producing new scenarios and situations without you having to shed a tear. It just pushes right on through. If you choose to stop to shed a tear, it's because you chose to stop to shed a tear. You don't have to. Okay? It's not designed for you to do that. It is designed for you to have wonderful bliss. Wonderful bliss. And when things aren't going your way, then we often feel this tug of stress, or this feeling of incompleteness that brings us to a place of discontentment. So never mind discontentment. I think about the little pain management scale. I think I forget the name of it, but you see it in hospitals, and it shows you a face, right, with an emotion. I see myself thinking in terms of this scale daily, and so if it brings me to a place where my pain is insurmountable, like, I need to get with that. I need to sort that out quick. But the key is to not roll down that hill with that heavy, tiresome momentum of negativity. It is to, I feel something out of place. Wait a minute. Let me see what that is, because we're not rolling down the hill today. Stop it before it even starts, right? Right. So, I want to talk about, I had a very interesting talk with a friend of mine today, as a matter of fact, and I told him he had these ideas that he didn't bring to his conscious mind. They were all ideas of his subconscious mind. And these thoughts were heavily fueled with, or represented as if he was experiencing them, right? Even though these ideas were like suspended in time to be something of the past, he saw them, as like present. This is where we go and do this thing, And I'm thinking, Well, it's been a while since you did that thing, something like 20 years. So it's funny that you see it as doing it in the present, having the experience now, when it's been so long ago since you actually did this thing, that your family does. So, of course, being a light bringer, I shed light on, hey, you haven't done that in a very long time. So I think this is a good place to look and see why it is that you use present day with something that happened obviously when you were a child or a very uh, uh, um, young adult, like 18, you know. And so, he thought about it like, that is different, that I would use that language. But what it is that the connection, he hadn't made the connection between the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. So there's something about why that was stored in his subconscious mind to be some type of activity that brought, number one, bliss, because he said it so matter of factly and with conviction as if this is what we do, you know. And he said it um, in a very, it had a very nostalgic feeling to it. And maybe I gathered that because I knew that this was a function that he hadn't done in a very, very long time. So maybe that's how my brain recorded it. But, anyways, it made me realize that there is so many schemes in our brain that we only connect to feeling, a feeling, right? And how much we just go with the flow of the feeling. We don't stop, investigate, and pause because there are a couple of things as to why he stored that in his mind as such a wonderful way to operate or be with family. My top pick is he wants that experience again. He saved it and he used it as if he was already using it. It just came out that way. So nothing is a coincidence. Everything that we say and that we feel like saying is connected to a file folder of information that we stored with like information to it. So in my mind, I think he probably would like to enjoy that experience again. And then maybe not. Maybe it's something that needs closure right there. Maybe there's something there that he hasn't quite accepted because, again, this was past tense and he made reference to it being present tense, right? So as you're going through life, you have to survey why you think one thing, right? You got to think first about what it is that you're thinking because it is, one, connected to something, and two, you want to make sure that's a healthy connection, not one that's attached to a longing, because then you're sending the vibe out that whatever it is that you're longing for, you won't ever be able to get it because you haven't put it in action. You haven't put it in an action state, right? There is a law called the law of inspired action. And it is attached to every other thing, every other law that you wish to use to manifest something. Is something that you have to it's basically, it's not just enough to um, develop a positive attitude about it and then it attracts this thing that you want. It's more of putting inspired steps to work for you so that to ensure this thing that you might want will certainly manifest, right? Because it's those hidden ideas that send a shadow of doubt. It's those hidden things that you don't quite process or bring forth towards your conscious mind so that they can be processed, right? Your subconscious mind is always, it's just working and you okay, you don't, hey, relax. We got you, you know? So you just going and it's just storing in these folders of information that is like the thing before. But it's like a computer. It doesn't sort out and say, that's not cool. That one don't go there. It doesn't say that. It is just doing a function as it's supposed to do, as everything is supposed to do. So when you overlook what you say and just flow on with it without investigating, is this serving me? Is what this idea of blissful happening in my life, that I'm, expressing this great thrill and joy about let's investigate that. Because first of all, it's not happening right now. So why am I, perpetuating this idea as if it is active right now? And why am I still holding on to the thrill of it? What was it about it? It could be so simple, but it could be complicated, but it's worth the investigation. It's worth taking the time out. See what you're thinking. What are you thinking? What is it? It may be good. It may be not serving you. So, in order to guarantee that the goodness comes to you in the way you create for it to come, in all of its likeness, you have to put forth that action step to help things manifest, to make sure there is no shadow of doubt, to make sure that you are clear about what it is that you want. It is an action journey, beloveds, and I encourage you, stay well. Free think freely, right? Investigate the thoughts that go in your head, right? Because if you don't, your subconscious mind is going to take over and just store all of that incorrect data over and over and over and over again. That's how people get so many years of just incorrect thoughts and behaviors. And you are a creator, beloveds, you're a creator. So whatever you create, you want it to be most definitely wonderful, right? Until we meet again, let love guide you, beloveds. And please think free, be free. Odabo.